welcome to a very special episode of Big Business Battles. As the world grapples with the ongoing financial crisis, the Bush's bailout package and much more, we are asking the question on Big Business Battles today: what happens to the future of not just the great financial institutions like Lehman Brothers or Merrill Lynch, but the future of millions of business school students who have always dreamt of that $1 million paying job on Wall Street or even on Dalal Street? Is the financial services sector finally out of flavor? Is that the risky model that business school students may not like to opt for? Is their future under threat? That's the key question we are asking on Big Business Battles from a very special location, NITIE, one of the largest business schools in the western part of the country. We are here with their students and a very special panel as always. To my extreme right, Adrian Williams, you are with one of the largest financial services companies in the country, Reliance Money. Adrian will tell us why financial services is still the most attractive sector to get MBA school students into there. Prince Augustine, he's from the HR department of Mahindra & Mahindra, so the hardcore old economy manufacturing sector, more sustainable, less excitement, but make sure that you're not fired because the institution collapses. From a business school perspective, Ashok Pundir, you are the head of the placement training of NITIE, and you're training students to go out there in the world and find a job. Your colleague, Dr. Williams, Dr. Stephen De Silva, from Jamnalal Bajaj, and you will tell us how you are getting all those nasty questions from your students, telling them what to do. And the HR consultant, we have Anish Lekar, Executive Director of ABC. Thanks so much, all of you. And to my right, Professor Kanu Deshi from Wellinkar. You're a known face in the entire institutions of MBAs in the western part. Thank you all for joining us. Adrian, let me start by asking you, has the lure of Wall Street or Dalal Street vanished finally?
I think the lure of a six-digit salary, dollar salary, was all too exciting. But then comes reality, and students would still be excited about joining the financial industry, more so going abroad and getting paid for it. However, I think the times are very challenging now, and it's about time that students began to look at multitasking and acquiring new skills in that area, because companies are looking at lesser manpower and yet getting more work out of them.
But compared to that, Prince, do you think now finally you can turn around and tell them, look, we told you so, banking and financial services is only good till the big scandal or the big scam or the big collapse takes place. So come back to old economy, come back to hardcore manufacturing.
See, it's all about what attracts people. There are some students who are actually lured by the financial services, but there are still some core who are actually looking at the manufacturing sector. You had said that automotive is really not a business of excitement. I tell you that things have really undergone a change. As much as financial is exciting and attractive, the automotive business is also equally exciting and attractive. It's a business of passion. It's a business of involvement. It's a business of creativity. And I don't think you will get it in any other sector.
I guess you're hard selling your industry quite well.
I'm not hard selling my industry. What I'm telling is financial services people can actually find a very good place, a very stable place where they can make a very good career and contribute to the growth.
So for all those who have lost their job, they should apply to you.
Yes, definitely.
All right, we'll get the good talent. Mr. Pundi, what are the kind of questions people are asking you in classes? Are they in doubt? Are they scared? Are they a bit more uncertain than what they were last year?
Well, the last few years, if you look at it, by and large, students have been moving for jobs in the financial sector. Investment banking, the profile was really one of those very great attraction for the student, and each student from a B school had been working towards that. There have been some concern in this part of it, but then Indian financial sector, if you look at it, it's quite big. There are whole sort of profiles where students look forward to the job. Investment banking as a profile will not disappear. It will remain part of the other banks, like say commercial banks, another way about it. But definitely the attraction, a major boost has really gone into it.
All right, so the major attraction is gone. Dr. De Silva, the point I'm trying to ask is, today when they look out in the world and see, oh my God, another bank collapses, Bush's bailout package is not working or working, are they even raising the question as to why high risk and high returns are something which is not good for their career? It is great for the balance sheet, not good for their careers anymore.
I don't believe into that, because students would like to take a risk also. Because with risk will really come in your high salaries
So if they take the risk and probably see what is the error that has taken place and probably go further from that and look into something different, what could be the causes and try to avoid it, probably this is the future for students also in the financial sector, I feel.
But the dollar salary is no longer such an attractive dream. Do you think that because they feel that maybe if it is all growing back home here, and Mr. Pundi said, why not experiment here? So there goes your bonuses, there goes your sign-on packages in dollars. Suddenly the dollar is not so attractive. Is that correct?
To a certain extent, you can say that. But as Sir said it also some time back, yes, our financial sector is equally strong, because we have a good backing from the RBI, having a total monetary control over most of the financial institutes. So for our institutes also, there's a great chance of leverage to really pick up.
All right, so the Indian financial services sector is attractive for them. Anish, tell me, by look of the CVs that you're getting, ex-financial services into manufacturing or ex-financial services still wanting to go to financial services?
I think it's more the latter now. Just to say that financial sector is not for the weak. It's a high...
it's not for the weak, you said.
It's not for the weak, I think.
You guys all better have brave hearts. All right.
It's generally, as a consultancy, as a firm, we deal mostly with senior and middle level talent. And basically, those are people who have spent more than 5 to 10, 12 years in the investment banking space. Having chatted with so many professionals over the last few days, I have found very few cases of people who are wanting to move out of the space. There are people, see, while probably one side of investment banking is going down, one side of that Wall Street has crashed, the top 5 US banks have come down, but there are still very strong Indian commercial banks. The Indian investment banking space is really not under threat. Then there is another space which has been created in India, which is the private equity space, which is mostly looking at key talent from investment banking.
But the private equity money used to come from abroad.
It used to. I would only say it's still not stopped coming. I mean, it's coming from all parts of the world, US being one. But it's
so you're saying the mindset has not really changed, because as long as you're strong in your gut, you can still go for the financial services sector.
And also I would say that there are senior professionals who are even looking at entrepreneurial opportunities. They are getting into it.
Doshi, just to change the mindset of the people right now, is there a concerted effort by professors to say, maybe you should look at other industries, maybe you should be looking at old-fashioned manufacturing, which is as exciting as Prince is telling us?
While that I may concede that part, but I would still believe that there is no end of the world as far as even financial services sector is concerned. Investment banking, and particularly that which has happened in USA, is certainly not the end of the world for India is concerned. So in my view, from going by our little experience, we so far have not yet experienced any difficulty from the corporates in coming even for financial services.
I don't know if the foreign names are still coming, they are no longer there.
No, foreign names, as you rightly said, there are very strong Indian companies, Reliance Group, Kotak Group, they are all coming.
All right, so you're saying it's the Indian companies which will take over. But tell me, Adrian, every time you used to go to a business school, is it not true that the students used to prefer a Lehman or a Goldman or a Merrill compared to a Reliance or a Kotak or to a public sector bank? Do you think that mindset is going to change now as we go along?
Not really.
They still want the foreign names.
They would want the foreign names, they want the big bucks. But on the other hand, if I look at even the Indian companies, financial companies, to name a few, Reliance, ICICI and Kotak Mahindra, people with passion and wanting to contribute to the turnover of the country would continue to remain here. That's because the financial sector is booming, your economy is growing at 9.5%, and those filled with passion will want to stay here, coupled with the stress that they are given on the job, which is positive stress. As Dr. De Silva correctly said, that those who are weak at heart, this is not the industry for them.
What is this weak at heart? Prince, are you weak at heart just because you're in manufacturing? I'm sure you hire a lot of people. What is this weak at heart business about finance? I don't understand this.
See, it's all the way you put it.
Or is it the gambling instinct that they're talking about?
I think it's more of a gambling, it's more of a risk-taking. Ultimately, what they say, you play with big bucks and you get big returns, right? So it's a call which each person has to make. If you look, people who are in for the financial services sector, they will not be really excited with any other sector. people who are excited with the automotive, the engineering space will really not be excited with...
But Prince, also because they pay more. I mean, the whole idea is students would like to go for more money. Why not? They have studied.
How many such students are there? If you look at the offers which are made, it's about 50 to 75, and you look at the total number of management students that pass out, there are much more. You take...
But day 0 and day 1, aren't financial services the most talked about feature? Day 0 and day 1?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes. The financial institutions are there among the manufacturing and FMCG companies also.
So the finance department gets the better talent items.
That's what I said. Even the FMCGs are there very much along with these financial institutions.
So there is no distinction as such.
There is a distinction, means it depends upon the students what count they really take in for having the day 0 companies or the day 1 company, whichever is which they really feel is going to be more beneficial for them.
Alright, so beneficial is what? That's what I'm asking. Ashok Pandit, beneficial is what? What do they come and tell you? He paid me the most. What do they tell you after they sign on? This guy's paying me the most, sir. Should I go for this?
See, in our case, around 75% students have prior work experience, and they know what exactly they want. And if they're looking for a finance profile, they're looking for a visual profile in consultancy firm, they look for it. Sometimes bucks may not be there. Sometimes they compromise salary which could be less, 25% less than the highest salary awarded.
Alright, let me just try and take a sort of a poll. Raise your hands for those who believe you would go for financial services any day. Alright, it's still not majority, even Stephen I would say. So clearly, it is not just the guts that they're talking about. Prince, you are actually no longer in minority, I can tell you that. Alright, before I take a break, very quickly Anish, just to go forward now, the touch and feel that you're getting of the industry, if Indian financial services sector is still going to do so well, is it time for Reliance or the Kotak or ICICI go and make the killing? What Goldman and a Merrill and a Barclays used to do, come and displace them and get these talented people out of the system.
See, what was happening is on the day 0, typically in most of the premier school campuses, one was these international IB firms, like some of them Lehman and Barclays and then Goldman Sachs, and the other was consulting firms and audit firms. My sense is that the premier school students might prefer going now first for consulting firms, and they might look at then the Indian investment banking arms. And simultaneously, there are sectors like FMCG and pharma, which are evergreen sectors, which are the reverse of, I mean, they will always go on whether investment banking is going down or going up. So they will anyway get talent. They will get very serious talent who's seriously interested in FMCG, or who's seriously interested in automobiles, or who's seriously interested in manufacturing.
Now it is time for good talent to actually go to the sectors that the sectors are also looking for, and they're also looking for. Let's take a break on Big Business Battles. When we come back, we ask the pinpointed question as to how the B school students are now going to approach corporate India and not just look at Wall Street, forget the Western model, because a lot of people are saying what we did was the right thing. We were protectionist a bit, and that has in a way gone in our favor. Will that mean India retains the best business school talent? We'll find out after this short break. Welcome back. You're watching the Big Business Battles. We are debating whether business school students have an uncertain future. With the financial tsunami hitting almost the entire world, should they reorient themselves as to how they should approach a job in the banking sector? Dollar is no longer the darling. That is good news for you, Adrian. But I also remember something which was said in the last scene of Wall Street, if these people have seen it actually. Don't try to make money out of other people's money. Try to make something to make money out of that. Manufacture something, and I can see Prince would be gloating in that. But clearly speaking, Adrian, as you go ahead, do you think you have to also reorient the way you project the sector? No longer can you project it as, look, it's high risk, high return, it's all living on the edge, you have to have the guts to do it. You also have to tell them, if you want to come into the financial services sector, you have to build a sustainable model.
I think firstly, we don't need to talk too much about what the financial sector has to offer, because everyone knows from history that there is a lot of stress, high risk, high gain. However, on the other hand, I think the